All right, so the next one, NFT and art for good. Very important. I love these kind of projects where we're doing good stuff around art. And that's actually one of Joel's, you actually trademarked Do Good Stuff, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, he has trademarked Do Good Stuff. All right, so here.
By the way, just so you know, there will be no more raps from us today.
Yeah, no more raps. We realize that we are old white dudes and we shouldn't be rapping.
I checked the cringeometer when I went backstage. It was like, like that.
Don't do it again. All right. So Art for Good, they're organizing themselves under their names. So we have Sarah Meyohas, right? Did I say that correct? And we have Noah Davis. And we have Michah, Howard-Dowbak, Ryan Zurrer, and then Maciej. How you say your last name again? Kuciara. He's got the hardest name, so give him love. And then somebody named Ash Thorpe is coming, and he's Batman. Give it up for Art for Good.
Here we go. Take it away, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yo, they're putting my government name on blast here. I never even used that full name.
You're looking hot in that one. Sarah, do you wanna kick us off?
Yeah, I want to read a tiny quote from an essay by Dave Hickey in his book Air Guitar, and he wrote an essay called Freaks, and he talks about, we're here talking about a sale which you'll learn about that is benefiting MAPS, which is the organization that has done research on psychedelics, and they'll tell you more. But the relationships of psychedelics and art is kind of an amazing one, and psychedelics in art is a very anti-academic style. It has never been part of the canon, and in that way, it is very much in line with NFTs as a movement that is not part of the academic canon. And so I'm just going to read this quote. So in general, we might say that these anti-academic styles prioritize complexity over simplicity, pattern over form, repetition over composition, feminine over masculine, curvilinear over rectilinear, and the fractal, the differential, and the chaotic over Euclidean order. They celebrate the idea of space over the idea of volume, the space before the object over the volume within it. They elevate concepts of externalized consciousness over constructions of the alienated interior self. They are literally and figuratively outside styles. Decorative and demotic, they resist institutional appropriation and always have. They distinguish themselves from apparently anti-academic styles like European surrealism and gestural abstraction, which are easily academicized, whose transgressions against form are easily forgiven because they celebrate masculine interiority. For all their pretense to rebellion, these styles are only truly rebellious in their ebullient pop psychedelic appropriation.
Woo! Wicked.
Just a way to set the mood.
And so that's really a great segue in bringing these two seemingly unrelated fields together. The more
Ooh.
time. Oh, there
Ash.
you go.
Hey, Ash.
Ash Thorpe, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
I've been really just surprised at how my life's two passions of crypto and art and psychedelics sort of keep kind of finding a way to combine one another, and that's kind of what led to this drop that we're very grateful to be doing with Christie's for the benefit of MAPS. That I started reaching out to artists who are friends of mine about 6 months ago to put together a collection of what I think are the most extraordinary digital artists on the planet who've come together for psychedelic science. And I guess the first question that we'd like to kick it off, and we'll just sort of throw it open and try to make this as much of a conversation as possible, is to any of the amazing artists here, can you describe a little bit about how your own psychedelic journey has informed your artistic journey and just go from there?
Yeah, do you guys mind if I start it off? Yeah. First of all, my name is Michah. Mad Dog Jones is my art alias. My full name is on there if you want to search me out online. But yeah, and actually my art is Ryan's avatar there too. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Everybody, Noah, it's great to see you guys. The boys, you guys do crazy work. Love it. Yeah, so art and psychedelics, like who would I be, where would I be without psychedelics? It's not even close to where I am now. Multiple psychedelic experiences and just drug use in general has really formed me as a person. Now, it's complicated because you come up here and you're like, hey, do drugs. And it's like, it's a complicated question with a complicated answer. Don't just do drugs. It takes knowledge of self, really asking yourself who you are and what this is doing for you. Why am I doing this? And the biggest question that I think people need to answer is like, am I doing this from a place of love or am I doing this from a place of desperation? And you really need to watch that line. So it's all about being safe and encouraged. And that's really what MAPS is all about. It's about opening that door to safety and giving people the actual tools and knowledge to do these things in an encouraging, healthy way to help us all kind of open our minds to the beautiful world that lays beyond the physical.
That's so nice.
Thanks, man.
I feel it's mental health and utilizing any tool that's possible to further your development as a human being or a creative person is really great, and that's one of the things that I connected with most when Ryan and I first talked about being included in this event. For me, I feel it's really important, and any kind of way of helping people get through any sort of trauma or to discover who they are, their purpose, and utilizing this, I guess, new effort is really a beautiful thing, and I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm full support of it.
Cool, and we're very happy to have you. Just quickly, for anyone who doesn't know, MAPS is the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Science. It is the longest-standing and certainly most important organization of any kind in the emerging psychedelic therapy space. And this new emerging space is really important because mental health is the largest problem that mankind faces. Pre-COVID, 1 of 5 people globally suffered from mental health issues. Now I know of no family that escaped the mental health pandemic over the last number of years, and this is literally the organization that is leading this fight. And not only are they doing it, they're doing it as a nonprofit. And we've never seen a novel pharmaceutical category be brought to market by a nonprofit. What that's going to mean for setting a commercial and cultural bar for patient access and not pharma industrial complex margins, I think is a really important social experiment. So just to contextualize sort of the why of why we're doing this. I'm wondering if any of you want to sort of walk through the piece that you decided to create for this drop and why this piece was meaningful for you for this specific cause.
So I'm showing a photograph that is from a series called Speculations. And this relates to how I entered into crypto. I did a piece called Bitcoin in 2014 where I forked Bitcoin and backed it at a fixed rate by my photography. And for the photographs, I wanted to create something that was a visual metaphor of a blockchain and an illusion of space. And so I created the series called Speculations that is a play on words on both financial speculation, but also specular like mirrors. And I created them, and now when I look at them, they're like shockingly psychedelic. They're just liquid and color, and they go on forever. And it was, and I had made them before taking psychedelics. And it's once I took psychedelics that I realized, like, oh my goodness, there is such a connection, and also that the connection makes sense because when I'm making art, I want to make that something that is perceptually interesting, that is, altering your perception in some way, and that also takes you away from like reality, from language, from structures, and so it kind of all came together.
Awesome, that's great, and it's a beautiful piece. Maciej,
Yeah, I can go ahead. I'm probably the only person here who actually never experienced any psychedelics at all.
No way.
No.
Get him out of here. Get out of here.
But I definitely have an interest in the topic because the first time I've learned about psychedelics and MAPS specifically was a couple of years ago. Read some articles from the research that has been done on in Johns Hopkins. Watched a bunch of podcasts, started reading books, and try to get the understanding of where this whole research is going, why there's so much stigma around it. And the reason, when I was talking to Ryan about this project when he reached out, why I felt this would be a good fit is because even though I don't have any, psychedelic experience per se, I do have family that experience PTSD. I do have family that also experience addiction, and I know from even the research with MAPS that it helps people that have severe addictions in a really profound way. So it's not only about PTSD, but also other medical uses that are quite frankly incredible, but yet they're stigmatized by the society. I mean, a good example of this is we all know that there was the Summer of Love, the 60s and 70s, and how quickly it turned to be the most demonic thing by the society. It's very encouraging to see that that's actually changing now. There's more research coming out. There's more trust in how it's developing, and it's amazing. I'm glad to see that happen. And to me, it's an opportunity to do something really good for the cause, even though I haven't experienced it personally. I'm kind of adjacent to the whole situation, so I felt that's going to be a right fit with the work that I'm doing, and specifically with the piece that I had that I felt it talks about addiction specifically and the stigma around addiction actually, and it kind of makes you think, okay, we have to fight that part. It's the movement that needs to happen. It's the conversations like today that need to happen to actually shed some light, get people interested, start reading books, start reading research, because there's a lot of hearsay, a lot of not really good data coming from nefarious elements. People have interest in everything, and it's just super exciting to see that there's actually people who have really good heart and are trying to do something positive in the world.
Cool.
So.
And you've also got a really good heart for stepping up and doing this, even though it's not something that you've empirically experienced yet. So that's great.
Yeah.
I want to kick it over to Noah, because this drop is absolutely not possible without Noah, who is an absolute titan of this space. And I feel very honored that this is going to be your last drop with Christie's. And maybe you can just walk through how you're feeling about this right now and how you're feeling about the lineup.
I mean, I'm elated. I really am elated. I've been working at Christie's for 7, going on 8 years, and I've worn a lot of hats, but definitely being the NFT person has been the most fun by a long shot. And I've gotten to do, just over the last year and a half, a lot of incredible, wacky things, and make a lot of incredible, terrible mistakes, but also learn. And this technology is just so revolutionary and amazing, and the artists working in this space using it in innovative ways it's mind-blowing to me how talented these people are. And I think that with this sale, not only is it a charitable auction that's benefiting an organization that, for obvious reasons, gets marginalized, and that there's a stigma attached, right, to any kind of drug, even though the pharmaceutical industry is a monster, and people are taking drugs every day that are totally legal. There are potentially illegal, quote unquote, drugs out there that could save lives, and MAPS is doing research into these therapies that other organizations aren't. So to think that my last sale is going to help benefit them is really amazing. And then also the exhibition that we've put on powered by Atomic Form, who are really incredible. I don't know if Atomic Form are speaking at NFT.NYC, but if you guys are interested in the display of NFT art, because it's a problem that needs to be solved, Atomic Form are solving it, and they're amazing. Our exhibition is just around the corner, and it's fantastic, so I would really love for all of you to come by, if you can. Corner of 49th Street and 6th Avenue. It's just awesome. And yeah, to have this be my last sale before I leave and become the brand lead for CryptoPunks, which is still, I can't really wrap my head around that. It feels really special. It's a bittersweet transition, but I couldn't be happier with this last dance, as it were.
Amazing. I want to switch gears here because we have, quite literally some of the best digital artists on the planet up here with us, and we're incredibly grateful for that. I just want to kind of do a bit of a lightning round and suss out some wisdom of this long stoic path that you guys have all walked, because you didn't start doing this 2 years ago when NFTs caught fire. So just super, very quickly in kind of 1 or 2 sentences, can you walk through one of the non-obvious activities that you undertook that today you're grateful that you did and has led to the outlier success that you've had, or just like a tip for a young artist who's starting on their path?
I'd say for any good advice I could give would probably be to just trust your gut, don't follow trends, and learn to understand who you are. I always found that art was, for me, was always a way to discover who I am deeply and try to find answers to the questions using art, using the questions about life and the universe by using art as a vessel to get there. So I would encourage you to explore and celebrate your independence, and celebrate that, and don't follow trends.
I really like looking at clouds. Just look at clouds more often. Look at the shapes, look at the form, look how the light moves across them. There's so much 3D abstract nature to a cloud and so much composition that you can find from them. You can do the same thing with a forest or a river, but I think clouds are probably like the most integral part of composition in nature. And they're always doing cool shit, so go say what's up to some clouds. I want to start a podcast called Cloud Talk, where we just talk about clouds. Yeah, you guys will subscribe, right?
You got fans, you got fans.
Yeah, I think I kind of echo, well, the clouds, I'll start looking at more clouds, but I think it's just about doing things that are sometimes risky and taking a risk. I think that's really important. Art is not supposed to be safe. It's not supposed to fit in. And sometimes in a world in which anything can be art and there really are no rules anymore, it's especially important to figure out how to take a risk.
Awesome. And then very quickly, actually one quick thing to collectors. One lesson that I would share is this new medium has allowed us to connect more directly with the artist. It's not that galleries or auction houses will go away, but you can build these direct connections with artists, and I feel like that's actually like the benefit that I've got from being in this space, is the relationships that we've developed. It's been more meaningful than anything else. So lean into finding artists that you resonate with and buy from them.
One more pro tip. If you're gonna DM an artist, don't start with shilling them. Just say something interesting. Like, people send me so much bullshit, and it's like, I'm sure you're nice, but man, like, just say something interesting. Be like, hey, like, did you see this cool thing? Or like, did you know that like pandas like to eat this much shit? Like, I don't know. Just like be compelling. Don't
bring up clouds.
I want to piggyback on that a little bit. There's probably a lot of people in this room listening now who are curious about the space, as they say, and Web3 and want to be more involved. Just get more involved. Join Discords, get on Twitter. You don't have to tweet. You don't have to talk about anything. You can follow people and listen for a long time. You should listen first. But that was one of the most important things for me in my journey so far, was to get over my bullshit fear of being considered a poser and just embrace this stuff and meet people and make relationships. So just do that. I mean, just get in there. If you get into shitty Discords and be a cool person, and you'll get invited into a better Discord. Like, it will happen.
Okay, so last question. In the back half of the year, what are you most excited about? And that could be a personal project. It could be something that you'll collaborate on or attend or whatever else. But in the back half of this year, as we go into the second semester, a very different climate than the first semester, what are you guys most excited about?
I don't know.
And feel free to show your stuff and talk about your drop and whatever.
I always
you're
look
making.
at the projects that I'm working on from a perspective, is it cool? And that's the only perspective I have.
So White Rabbit is definitely cool. This is true. Shibuya,
I mean, if you say so, yeah.
Shibuya
Obviously, I'm gonna
is
say it's pretty
definitely
cool, but Shibuya is pretty cool, and White Rabbit's pretty cool.
I'm finishing my 15-minute short film called Chimera. I'm very excited about that. If you like True Detective and Inception and Matrix, you're probably going to like this one. It's pretty weird. And I just finished another new collection of work. It's 15 pieces. I'm very excited about that. That's called Nascent. And I can't wait to share those projects. And I have a couple other things that are really exciting, having to do potentially with all this incredible AI art generation and trying to find a place where the digital mind and the artist mind have in this AI art creation and finding that harmony. So I'm really excited about exploring that.
Sweet. I know we got to wrap it up like right now, but I just wanted to say, legalize all drugs, regulate them. The war on drugs has failed. It's total bullshit. And release everybody from prison who's there for a drug offense.
Yep.
Like, this is the fight, guys. Like, this is how they keep us down, so that's important.
That is not financial advice.
CryptoPunks. I'm excited about CryptoPunks. Look at
Clouds.
We're going to go.
Give it up.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
let's give it up for our
NFT
panel.
Art for Good. Artist
Good
Spotlight.
job.
Great stuff, guys.
Like, yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, you can hand to those guys over
Right
there.
on.